Hi, it's good to have you with us. It's the first time Queen of the South have ever travelled for European competition. If they want to get into the first round proper of the AFA Cup, they're going to have to make Scottish football history by becoming the first side ever to overcome a home leg defeat. 2-1 they are behind against Nordsjælland of Denmark. We've got the whole of the second leg coming up live. Joining me in the studio tonight, our regular contributor Pat Nevin and former Doonhamer Des McKeown. We'll hear from the boys in just a moment. Now, Queens are in this tournament by virtue of a great run in the Scottish Cup last season. Let's remind ourselves how they did it.
And Thompson makes it two. Queen of the South, for the first time in 58 years, will be at Hampden. Thompson knocks it on. There's an opportunity for John Shaw. The people of Dumfries and their football club, Queen of the South, will go to the Scottish Cup final for the first time in their history. And once more, it's Stevie Tosh who scores at Hampden. Thompson! The captain comes calling at Hampden Park. This is the finest hour. A Scottish Cup final.
Now, they didn't win the Scottish Cup, of course, but they were heroes that day. Will they be heroes tonight? Des McKeown, I'll come to you first of all. You played with Queens. It's new territory for these boys, away in European competition. Have they got it to turn the match around?
I think they have, Dougie. I think it's obviously very important that they get the first goal in the game to give them something to then work towards. Speaking to the guys at Dumfries over the last few days, I know that they've been working really hard on set plays. They feel that there's a weakness there in the Nordsjælland defence, as Sean O'Connor showed in the first game. So I think the delivery from set plays is going to be ever so important, but they have to defend first and foremost because they lost two really poor goals in the first leg.
Nordsjælland's domestic form, Pat, hasn't been great this season so far, although they did win 9-1 at the weekend against Greve in the Danish Cup, but we believe it's a preliminary round and Greve aren't the best of sides. But that aside, you know, domestically they've not been great, but in Europe they've been looking pretty tasty.
Yeah, and certainly in the first game against Queen of the South they were a good side, but I mean, to be honest, Queen of the South, last year they had some phenomenal results, some great plays, some great memories as we've seen there, but they want to create some more, and you think it's impossible, but when you see what happened last year, it is possible, but as you say, the first leg did not go the way to plan, which is a bit of a disappointment for everyone involved, because I don't think there was the best defender in the whole world, was it?
No, exactly. And, you know, I think Gordon Chisholm is very critical of the defending, but you can see there with Sean O'Connor getting well above the Nordsjælland defence that Gordon believes that they will score goals, or they can score goals in Denmark. You can see here really poor defending right across the back line, and 2 or 3 defenders leaving it to each other, and you can see there that Bryn Halliwell, who's dropped out of the side tonight, has obviously been left exposed.
Yeah, I just seen a little weakness there that we'd seen a problem last season. When Big Jim Thompson goes out wide, he's fantastic, his tackling is great, but he does leave a gap behind him there. It's not his fault, he sometimes has to cover some of his other players, and tonight you can't afford to do that at any point because you can't afford to lose any goals.
OK, well, Gordon Chisholm said before the first leg that they shouldn't concede early in the match. Of course, they lost the goal in the second minute. Let's see what he says ahead of this one. He's with Jim Spence.
Well, Gordon, it's a magnificent night for football, but I suspect you wouldn't care what the weather was like. It's all about getting the result on the night, isn't it?
It's all about the result, Jim. You know, we know what we've got to do. Boys are quiet, they're confident. You know, we'll go out and give it our best shot tonight.
You made 3 changes to the side that lost narrowly in the first leg. What's the thinking there?
Well, a wee bit more defensively with young Robert Harris. I mean, Jamie McQuilkin done well, but I brought young Robert in. Big Jamie will give us a bit of drive for the middle of the park. You know, I just felt on the night that the balance, I just had to get the balance proper, you know.
It's not very difficult one. You conceded a goal very early on in the second minute. You'll have been at pains as a former defender yourself to make sure that doesn't happen again, but at the same time, you need a goal. It's a difficult one to call tonight, isn't it?
It is difficult, but I mean, you've got to respect that they're a decent side, you know, and what I've done tonight is I've tried to get boys from behind the ball to get forward, you know. I've not started with anything really up front. I'm kind of working for deeper areas, but I know we've got the legs in there, and there's a willingness to get forward, and hopefully, you know, we keep it tight, we can get one, we'll just see what happens for there, Jim.
I know you're a man that likes to do his homework. Have you been poring over the video analysis of the first game and stuff like that?
I've watched it, and I still was angry with the 2 goals. You know, I felt on the night we definitely deserved something. People were kind of writing us off now, saying that we've got no chance over here. I felt watching it, you know, even conceding the 2 goals in the first half, I thought we played some good stuff. I think we were well capable of competing with them. In the second half, we put them under pressure, and just a little bit of luck. You know, we made it difficult by giving the 2 goals away, but with a little bit of luck tonight if we can get the first goal, which I think is going to be really important.
In terms of fitness and all that, we always talk about the great technique of the Continentals, but in terms of fitness and aggression levels and all the rest of it, you'll have nothing to fear.
No, nothing at all. I think Scottish game's aggressive. It's more aggressive than the Danish game, and that's something we've got to use. But it's got to be controlled. There's no use us flying in and giving silly free kicks away. You know, we've got to use our aggression. That's part of the Scottish game, and we'll look to do that for set plays tonight.
There's been a magnificent atmosphere about Copenhagen. There's almost 1,000 fans here. You know, there's been a carnival atmosphere. That's something we enjoy as journalists. The fans enjoy. It's something in a sense you've got to turn your mind off to, isn't it? Because it's what happens, you know, between these white lines. It's important.
It is important, but you know, it never ceased to amaze me that there's maybe 1,000 supporters over here on a Tuesday night. I think they'll be a great help vocally coming out here in this stadium. It kind of echoes, so I think we'll benefit from that. You know, we know we've got great support behind us, and like I say, the boys will go out and give everything they've got.
Just very briefly, do you think you can go through tonight?
Well, I've never seen a game finished at 2-1 half-time, Jim, so yeah, I believe we've got a chance.
Whole of Scotland behind you tonight, Gordon. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Jim.
Well, I'm delighted that Jim Spence is enjoying the carnival atmosphere. That's your licence fee well paid and well worked on there. So, but Jamie McQuilkin has dropped down. 3 changes for Queen of the South from the first leg, but Jamie McQuilkin onto the bench. He'll be pretty disappointed with that, but what's the reason behind it, Des?
Well, I think Gordon has suggested there that he feels that Robert Harris, perhaps from a defensive point of view, gives him a wee bit more cover, a wee bit more legs, but I would also think that Robert Harris' delivery from dead balls is going to be very, very important, because it's that element of the game that I know the Dumfries management team are looking to exploit in Nordsjælland's defence.
We're saying it's Queen of the South's first time they've ever travelled in European competition, Pat, but of course Nordsjælland are not a side that are particularly experienced either in this competition.
Yeah, and they can be shaken as well, so they have to make sure that they start at a very high tempo. And I mean, just another moment again, there's Jim Thompson starting at the front there, captain of the side. He didn't think a year ago that he'd have been going through what he's gone through. Let's just hope one of those special days. Scored 2 goals against Rangers in the final, 4 goals against Aberdeen in the semi-final of the Cup to get here. Strange things can happen with Queen of the South. Let's hope tonight's one of those nights.
Indeed they can, Des. I mean, it is one of those things, you know, there's nothing to lose now. They're back, they get back home in the first division, but a run in the UEFA Cup would be absolutely superb for Doonhamers.
Absolutely, Dougie. A few months ago, I saw Jim Thompson, a good friend of mine, scoring in the Scottish Cup final, something I never ever expected I would have seen. And yet, he leads them out tonight in Denmark, and we have to say, let's go and give it their all.
Well, will the magic continue for Queen of the South? Let's find out now in the company of Craig Patterson and Paul Mitchell.
Good evening, Dougie. Welcome, everybody. And as the boys have been saying, with football, nothing is impossible. Queen's chances of progressing may look improbable, but then again, no one tipped them to go all the way to the Scottish Cup final last season. And when there, no one would have bet on them levelling the match against Rangers when going 2 goals down. The lot across to my right certainly believe the resilience of the Queen of the South team is key. It'll be tested to its boundaries tonight inside this wonderful little stadium. Queen of the South did not play at the weekend. Ross County consenting to rearranging their fixture. It was Danish Cup weekend here, the home side cantering to victory over Lower Lake Grave. So the home team news: Nordsjælland, 1 change from the match in Scotland. Bajan Feta is out. Jonathan Richer comes in.
Yeah, the home side set to line up in a unfamiliar 4-5-1 formation. However, with a 2-1 lead from the first leg in Scotland, Morten Picos knows if his side concede just 1 goal tonight, they'll book their place in the next round of the competition.
Queen of the South make 3 changes from the first leg, the pain and the rain. Cameron Bell replaces Bryn Halliwell in goal. Gary Arbuckle is injured, unfortunately he misses out. Jamie McQuilkin is out the starting 11. Jamie Adams and Bob Harris come in.
Queen of the South will also start in a 4-5-1. However, they know 2 goals is required tonight to give them a chance of qualifying. With that in mind, Stuart Keane and Stevie Tosh have been given licence to get up in support of Sean O'Connor at every opportunity.
You see the substitute bench there. Stephen Dobby would be the obvious goal-scoring threat should Queen of the South need him. Fairly inexperienced up front apart from that. Farum Park in Nordsjælland, Denmark, consisting of a large peninsula which is Jutland and many islands, most notably Zealand. We are tonight in the northeast of the island of Zealand in eastern Denmark.
Firm, a town with a population of 18,000, we're approximately 18 miles northwest of the capital, Copenhagen. It's far from full, but the Queen's fans will make a noise as Queen of the South extend a list of 7 clubs to 8 teams who have appeared in the Scottish Cup final and never won the trophy. They may have extended that, but the other thing they did was qualify for Europe. And Sean O'Connor, who scored on the first leg, urging his players on. He's got a big part to play tonight.
Well, he's going to have to hold the ball up. There's no use playing 4-5-1 if you don't have a striker who can keep the ball and allow midfield players to get near him. Then they've got a chance. So he is probably the biggest player in many ways in this Queen of the South team tonight.
Getting ready to get underway. Benjamin Kibibi and Patrice Bernier, the goal scorers. And Airdrie got caught so quickly, Queen of the South. They'll have to avoid that tonight. As our referee this evening from France, Tony Chaperon, 36-year-old education advisor, was in Scotland last year for the Under-19 Elite Group Championship. He upset Paul Le Guen last season as well, when PSG lost at Nice. A referee upsetting somebody would never happen back home. Morten Vikhorst on the bench looking on. The league form of Nordsjælland has been terrible. They currently sit 12th in the 12-team league. That's not the place to be.
Not at all. Morten Vikhorst still looks fit enough to play there. He actually did play in the Phil O'Donnell Memorial game, was pinging the ball all over the place. I wonder if he's still tempted to get the boots back on when things aren't going well and maybe just get out in that midfield area and dictate for himself.
No truth in the rumour, he saw you on the other side and decided it might have been time to call it a day.
I was trying to call it a day and the game was only 2 minutes old.
So Queen of the South in Europe, amazing things can happen in football. Who would have thought that when they kicked off the Scottish Cup campaign away against Peterhead last November, that they'd be one of Scotland's 4 European representatives. What a night too for Jim Thompson. Signed a new contract. And he's playing here in Denmark. Sean O'Connor leading the line. Stephen Dobie, he'll be disappointed to be on the bench, Stephen Dobie, but he's lost out a little bit to Stuart Keane, the man you see in the back of the picture there.
Quite possibly Stuart Keane offers you more defensively than Stephen Dobie. And what's going to happen tonight is, you know, Queens do not want to concede early. They don't want to concede the first goal. They want to get their teeth into this game. You've got 90 minutes. You have to score twice. You don't need to score them in the first 10 or 15 minutes, but you can't afford to concede.
Morten Carlson immediately closed down by Tosh. Ball played wide. Jamie Adams. Stroke forward by Craig Barr. Kibibi going back. O'Connor with him. That's good chasing from Sean O'Connor immediately.
That's a great start. That's exactly what Queens want to do. Get on the front foot, get the 1,000 fans interested, and set pieces are key for them tonight. Every time they get into this area, they're going to try and get balls into that box.
Bob Harris with a towering throw. The goalkeeper comes together. I know Queens think they have a weakness, certainly at central defence, when it comes to defending these set plays. That's
going to be the plan all night. Anything up there, long throws, free kicks, corner kicks, get them in there, but you've got to keep them away from the goalkeeper. That was a poor one.
Burns plays it infield. That's a great touch. Going through was Jamie Adams. He felt he was fouled. Didn't look like it from here. McFarlane, he'll do that all night, going with those challenges, and he's won the free kick because Johnny Lindberg came through and followed through on him.
He's slightly late. I think the initial tackle was fine. It's the follow through, exactly what you're talking about. There's the ball played, and to be honest, there's actually nothing in it there. The referee spotted something that was just a fair 50-50 challenge. Neil McFarlane came out second best, but Queens won't be complaining. Yet another chance to put pressure on the Nordsjælland defence early in the game.
They were behind in the opening minutes of the home leg. Can they get the lead here? They're looking for a lot of joy from set plays. Steve Tosh over the ball. Bob Harris too breaks out wide. Stuart Keane. Bob Harris waits for it. Harris for the effort. Goal! Queen of the South! What a stunning strike from Bob Harris. What a stunning start by Queen of the South. The dream is on.
Absolutely incredible. I genuinely believe Queens needed something special, and already they've produced it. A quite magnificent strike from Bob Harris. The setup was there. We knew who was going to hit it. Steve Tosh bides his time, plays it, and look at that for a strike. Ben's goalkeeper has beat all ends up, and the ideal start. Gordon Chisholm could not be happier. What a start for his team.
Well, a certain Danish brewery don't make starts in Europe, but if they did... Nordsjælland 0, Queen of the South 1. It sounds good, it feels great if you're Bob Harris. First goal of the season, what a thumping effort it was too.
Absolute cracker. Early in the game, you sometimes need maybe one to get a sighter. That was an absolute peach.
So now, you have to be careful. You know, Craig, often the next minute or two, once you've gone ahead, it's very dangerous time. It's an old cliche perhaps in football, but it's an old cliche because it's true.
Oh, you'll see the manager straight away with the 5 fingers up saying the next 5 are vital. We don't get carried away. We don't start throwing men forward. We've got the bonus. We've got 1 goal. We've got plenty of time to get a second. Let's just keep our shape and do exactly what we're doing.
Out wide it comes Jonathan Butcher making his European debut for Nordsjælland. Not been involved in the other 3 matches. Passes it straight away on to Bob Harris. Harris forward. Kibibi flicks the ball on. Martin Carlson is there. Where it goes. Pedersen. It's a terrific tackle by Bob Harris. He must be at cloud 9 at the moment. Buzzing.
Every time the ball seems to be coming down his side and every pass seems to be heading his way. You're looking for heroes on a night like this, and it could well be Bob Harris.
Angle ball. There's the danger man. Benberg goes in, knocked away by Craig Reid. Good play by Reid, just kept his eye on it. First season at Queen of the South, first corner. Nordsjælland.
See the importance, Paul. Every single blue jersey is back in the box. Can't afford to keep anybody up. Brilliant free kick. They're looking back. Look at the bend on the ball. The goalkeeper's gone right. It's then come back left, and he cannot get near it.
He's worth a little kiss for the fans as well. Time to defend the home side. Easy away by McFarlane. The man with the head cap is Morten Carlson. Got it from the English Rugby Union, and then was modified for footballing use. Simple head away. Carlson again. In on it. Richter. Back on to his brother. They're twins. There's a second set of twins to play for Nordsjælland in 2 seasons. As the angle ball plays in, this is a difficult one. Christensen knocks it back, and the free kick will be awarded. Martin Benberg just going in, making life difficult. He's got 4 goals in this competition already, although 3 of them did come from the penalty spot.
Well, even at that, you obviously, when you're getting that many penalties, you have players who get into the box, they'll twist and turn, so it's always something to worry you. Queens once again, it's that back to front, and I tell you what, it's working an absolute treat for them.
Harris has to watch. Pedersen on the far side. Harris comes level with him. It's a great run. Touch and field by Christensen. And Barr made life very difficult for him indeed. And that's good play from Craig Barr, SPL experience last season, of course.
Yeah, another player who's moved to Queens, and when you get into that area, into the box, you just got to stand your ground. You know, eventually the referee's looking there as, is it a foul? If it was a foul, it was going to be a foul for Queens, but he's decided the goal kick will do nicely.
So perfect start as Cameron Bell on his European debut. Drives it forward. O'Connor got the flick. That's on to Keane. Keane held up. Keane felt he was being unfairly held up there. Kildentoff sends it away. Benny on that far side. Thompson, solid head up. Oh, that's a mistake from Carlson. And he's rescued. Richard of the Simon variety. Kildentoff again, infield. Kibibi forward, but again, there's good snarling play by Adams. Queen of the South again, ball played back. Adams was looking for it, just knocked off him. Come wide again. Tosh waits for it. Tosh takes it for a turn. Kildentoff with him. Kildentoff just doing enough. And Steve Tosh loves to be out wide, get those little balls in, but just foiled that time.
No, he was desperate to get back onto his right foot on both occasions. Instead of just knocking aimless, he wanted to get on his good side and make sure he kept the pressure on.
A goal scorer with the throw. The goalkeeper comes for it. Headed away by Kibibi. Neil McFarlane again does enough. Almost fell for Keane. Knocked away by Richter. Benberg on to Jonathan Richter. Richter moving wide on the left. Sorensen beginning to come through the middle. Benberg waiting for it again. Up against Thompson, he's got the legs on Thompson. But Paul Burns doing what he's been put there to do, tucking it in behind the central defender.
I mean, defending from Paul Burns, he knew Jim Thompson, big centre-half, doesn't want to get dragged out there into one-on-one situations, so he just got across, made sure if the player was going to get by and get across, he was going to be the first man with the block.
Patrice Bernier. High ball across. There's a danger coming from Lundberg up from the back. He has scored a European competition this season. He's one of the taller players, 6'2", well off target.
No, wasn't great marking from Queens, but he's coming backwards, he's going away from goal. Chances of generating enough power to worry the goalkeeper from there is nil. I think it'd have been better just to knock that one back into the mixer and hope to find one of his teammates.
Queen of the South, the 19th Scottish club to play in European competition. Can they become the first club to overturn a home loss and go through? So far, made the perfect start. Jonathan picked it forward, picked up by Christensen. Christensen lays it off. Carlson, born in Copenhagen, sends it wide. It should be taken by Barr. It's missed though. Well, I thought Barr was going to get there, and it was Soren Christensen coming in behind him.
They're lucky there, because I thought exactly the same thing when this ball comes in. It looks like Craig Barr's. The other Queen's defenders think the same thing, and when it reaches him, it's a decent shot. He does hit target, but Queens can't afford to give anything away in there.
O'Connor going through, could try and hit it wide. Kabibi did his job there. Ball breaks wide onto Tosh, just tried to lay it in, didn't get a good connection. Carlson's back. Richter will manage to keep it in. Benberg comes short for him. Under pressure that time from Reid. And good closing down again. Jamie Adams seizing his chance. Jamie Adams.
Good pressure all over the park. You know, McFarlane, Adams, good players in there. See things early. Good spoilers, making sure the home side don't get their foot in the ball, don't start to make passes.
Kabibi springs it wide. Gilden Toft on that far side. Stephen Pedersen. It's not a bad ball in, dealt with well by Thompson. Thompson just gets away from Gilden Toft again. And the man doing the chasing is Sean O'Connor. Putting Kabibi under pressure once more. I don't think Kabibi likes playing up against Sean O'Connor.
Well, it's a wonderful target, Sean O'Connor, because he's a willing runner, he's big, he's strong, he's physical, and defenders know when he's around, they're not going to get an easy ride.
Jesper Hansen, present in goal this season. The ball in Sean O'Connor almost away. Lundberg had got the ball out, Jamie Adams heads it back in. And it was Bernier with a little hitch kick away. On to Martin Benberg, and may well be playing his last game for Nordsjælland tonight. Plenty of interest in him from both Brøndby and FC Copenhagen.
Kind of hoping he doesn't go out with a bang then, because he's another decent player. He's shown early in the game, you know, he can hold the ball up, he can deal with big centre backs, doesn't mind the physical contact.
Jonathan Richter. Infield onto Bernier. And that's again Bob Harris. It's almost like he's a magnet and the ball's attracted to him at the moment. Sean O'Connor won that well. Paul Burns puts in the sprints. And again, he didn't make anything of it, but he shows his opponents he's there, he's willing, he wants to work into it.
Well, it's important that everybody does their bit tonight. Nobody can afford to be a passenger for Queens. I'm not sure they expected to get the goal early, but the great thing about that, what a lift it's been to the players. You can see the minute Nordsjælland are in possession, there are blue jerseys absolutely hounding them.
To forward, Benberg had made the run, picked up by Queen of the South, leading in European competition for the first time. As Morten Carlsen goes in rather heavily. And you're wearing one of those particular skull caps. I believe he is the only outfield player in Europe to wear such a device. He's kind of hard to miss.
Well, he's one of these players that the referee's not going to forget. He's now had the warning. His next foul, I think he's going to be in the book.
Should say he's had 2 serious head knocks in the past. That's why he wears it. Oh, head flick back. Oh, Richter. The assistant on the near side, Corinne Legrand, running the line is a lady. I think it's the first time in European competition for the Scottish sides. And a lady on the line. Craig watches on as Craig Barr comes back to take Barr sends it long. O'Connor wanted it, breaks down. McFarlane in again. Kabibi sent it out. Harris. Tempting ball in for Sean O'Connor. Sean O'Connor gets in the head of Simon Richter. Barr had stayed forwards. And it works the way of Queen of the South once more.
It's going well. Long throws either side. It's fantastic to have players, both left back and right back, who can launch them in there.
One ball played in, Keane tried to get there. Just couldn't. A nice little knock on again. Jamie Adams doing a good job.
The one thing they've got is bodies in the box. They know how important these situations are going to be, so any kind of set piece, any kind of long throw, they're throwing 4 and 5 bodies in there, just hoping to pick up one of the flicks.
Jonathan Richter watches on. His brother goes infield. He wanted it on this near side. There's a little word to his brother there. Martin Carlson. Kabibi on the angle. A good take for Cameron Bell. Into the side where Bryn Halliwell was injured, and he'll take that kind of ball knocked to him all night.
I'm not sure Nordsjælland know what to do now. They started out 4-5-1, not to concede, and conceding early. They're not sure whether do we try and stay with this formation and not lose another one, or maybe is it time to change and try and get more men forward. And Queens will hoping while that indecision's there, they might just sneak up and take advantage again.
Gordon Chisholm delighted. We should point out that Nordsjælland are playing a 4-5-1 because they tried to counter the physical threat of Queen of the South. They normally play a 4-4-2. But they're the ones that feel they have to change their game against the Scottish side. Patrice Bernier, the Canadian international, started his career with Montreal Impact, trying to make a real impact on the game. Not doing much from the edge of the box, and again, good captaincy work too from Jim Thompson, just encouraging all those round them.
Well, that's Paul Burns again. Watch him getting back here. He's not going to let the Canadian get a look up, pick out a pass, and eventually he's slightly heavy with the ball through, and that's great backtracking from your midfielders.
Well, 14 minutes played, one shot each on target, and rather critically, it's Queen of the South put theirs in the back of the net. Bob Harris after just 2 minutes. And if you're just coming in for work and haven't seen it, hang around till half-time. It's well worth seeing. A great free kick as Cameron Bell, rather low, onto McFarlane. He gives it away. Kildentoft on the far side. And then finds Pedersen. Pedersen plays it infield. Kildentoft continues his run. Jim Thompson, he was 7 years old, getting there very quickly to deny the opposing skipper.
Big skipper was not going to let that go through. The minute he spotted it going wide, it's a decent ball through, great run, but Big Jim Thompson just says, no way, that's getting by me.
Third corner for the home side. Kildentoft coming close to try and flick the ball in, didn't come. Back in again by Carlson. Lemberg looking for it. Jamie Adams coolly down. Clyde Barr happy to thump it on. Carlson struggling slightly. And Adams again sends it down, looking for Stuart Keane in his first season at Queen of the South. Missed the fun of the cup run last season. Tell you what, he's enjoying being in European action.
Well, imagine, moving the Queen of the South, could he have believed in his wildest dreams that UEFA Cup was possible, and now it's even more possible they could be in the next round the way they're playing tonight.
5 Scottish clubs have made their European debuts in the last 17 years. Only 2 of the 5 have progressed past the opening tie. I have to give credit to Raith Rovers in 1995. They went through a couple of rounds. They went out to Bayern Munich, and Livingston through one round in 2002. Harris up well. Gordon Chisholm can't believe it on the far side, I must admit. On the other side, I didn't think it was a free kick either.
Yeah, I think the arm's up and on the shoulder, is it? Yeah, over the... I mean, it's not much of a knock, but referees, especially when you're abroad, maybe in the SPL, that's okay when you're abroad. I'm afraid if you make contact with a player at all, you're going to be penalised.
Pedersen. Nordsjælland play it forward. All the way through. On to Cameron Bell. Cameron Bell. Looking for O'Connor. Comes down onto Tosh. Tosh onto Adams. Full presence in the midfield. Forward onto Keane. Tosh. Forced to go back. Craig Barr waits. All the way through. That's a little bit disappointing.
Well, the problem with the pass back to Craig Barr is he does not want to get caught in possession, so he's going to do the quick thing, get rid of it, Paul.
Here comes Sean O'Connor. He's gone down. The referee's got a decision to make. Now, O'Connor certainly looked like he was tackled, but the referee is standing there and he has given the free kick. I thought for a moment he was going to book Sean O'Connor for diving.
I just wondered if he was trying to get closer to see if that was the line or not. He certainly saw the tackle. He saw Sean O'Connor going down. The question is, was the impact outside the box or inside?
Well, I have to confess, I didn't think it was a penalty kick. I did think it was a free kick.
Poor play by Nordsjælland. They get robbed. Here you come.
Well,
there's the touch.
Yeah, it was definitely just outside the box, so he is yellow carded. Queens did have Jamie Adams yellow carded for complaining just a few moments ago as well, I'm told. And the referee bringing his book out. They've scored from a set play already, Craig. Bob Harris, I think, has earned the right to take this.
Well, I would have said from there, it favours the right footer. You would say Stevie Tosh, but after the first strike from Bob Harris, I wouldn't be at all surprised if he fancies it again, but Stevie Tosh may see glory.
19 yards from going 2-0 up. Comes on to Tosh, the ball does its job. It's Morton Carlson on a great free kick. Harris, who's checking McFarlane, didn't want to take it. Craig Reid on the angle, looking for Keane. Oh, it's a bad challenge from behind. The referee's going to give the free kick for that. Oh, Jonathan Richter going on that far side.
It's a double challenge here. Stevie Tosh is there, Neil McFarlane's there, and to be fair, Stevie Tosh actually plays the ball, but the referee sees the two, finds the Nordsjælland man in the meat in that particular sandwich, and once again decides free kick.
So just to confirm, 2 yellow cards so far. Jamie Adams of Queen of the South, what appeared to be dissent, and then Benjamin Kabibi, yellow carded for the bad challenge. Here comes Persson. Persson flicks it infield. Danger here. Christensen looks up, lays the ball back. It's Carlson. Doesn't tend to worry the scorers too much. Morton Carlson, very experienced player, the smallest player in the Nordsjælland side.
Well, he struck it well enough, but you can see again, good defending Queen of the South. Don't let players get turned in. When you're having lads shooting from there, the chances of that flying in the top corner, pretty slim.
O'Connor on to Keane. Lundberg right behind him. Keane desperate to take the ball away. He's under some pressure. Spurney robbed him. Craig Reid just comes through the ball. They are repelling pretty much everything, Queens.
They've done well, defensively sound. You know, they're pushed up. They don't want to be pushing too high a line. I think that's what cost them in the first game. You know, they made the mistake of pushing forward, thinking home team, we've got to get goals, and it cost them. But it's a learning process, Europe, and you can see this team have learned from that occasion, and they won't get caught again.
Bob Harris has been caught. Jonathan Richter on the far side will play it across. Waiting for it, it's Persson. Persson tries to come in field, and Burns took a little knock there as he cleared that. The referee has spotted that both players have gone down. So as things stand, Queen of the South leading here in Denmark by 1-0. 2 apiece on aggregate. They would go out on away goals if there's no further scoring in the match.
That would be a real shame, but I think this game still has goals in it, and if you're looking for something, last league game, Partick Thistle, Queens win 2-0. Their last game, Dunfermline, in the Challenge Cup, they win 2-0. If they could do it tonight, I mean, what a hat-trick that would be.
It would be a memorable night. So a lull in play, a stretcher is being called. And you often see it. Paul Burns just getting some treatment. You hope he's okay. I mean, they've got experience enough on the bench.
Yeah, it's high up in the thigh, though, what you a dead leg, if you like, coming together the two players, but it looks like the knee has gone into his thigh, and it's the type of thing you might be able to run off, but you'll know pretty quick because it'll go solid, and you can see the lad desperate to play on. He's not too keen on being stretchered off, but Gordon Chisholm's going to have to make a quick decision here. They can't afford 5 minutes to see if a player's going to be fit. If he can't go on, Paul Burns has got to say, because they need to get a man on. They can't play a man short.
24-year-old Paul Burns, the experience over 160 appearances for Queen of the South. Momentarily leaves the field of play. The subs have been dispatched to warm up. Queen of the South ahead against the side. Have yet to win in the league this season in 5 matches. Lost a couple of their games here, including a bottom-of-the-table clash last Sunday, which I sat and watched. And I must admit, I wasn't overly impressed with the home side. I thought they were slightly fragile out the back, and so they've proved to be.
Well, there's not a great deal you can do about the free kick. It was an absolute cracker, but they just haven't played. You know, as the home side, you expect them to dominate territory and possession, and there's been no sign of that so far.
Burns back in the action. Carlson. Burns tracking back. Looks like he's up to the pace of the game okay. Gildentoft. Benberg against Thompson. Adams going in there to help. He's still moving away. And it's Craig Barr who thumps it off the boots of the Danish forwards. We mentioned that Martin Benberg, you know, has been linked to a couple of other clubs. That might actually affect the way he plays here tonight.
Well, there's two ways. One is, if clubs are here watching, you want to prove you can play at this level. The second one is you don't want injured. So it depends which way he's leaning.
Nordsjælland. Well, some of the supporters starting to get a little bit unhappy. Queen of the South fans sense a good night. Thompson against Benberg. Benberg was well defended by Thompson, didn't give him any space. And Carlson catches Jamie Adams and also catches some verbals from Neil McFarlane as well.
And yet another look at him from the referee. You know, it wasn't much of a challenge, to be fair, but you can see this is the start of the fans just starting to get a little bit restless. A couple of bad touches, giving the ball away too easy, and when that happens, that's music to the ears of the Queen of the South manager.
Harris forward. Benberg wants Gildentoft to deal with it. He did so. All as far as McFarlane. Harris forward for O'Connor to chase. Gildentoft just ducks underneath it. Sean O'Connor. That's brilliantly done by Sean O'Connor, although he was then robbed. Queen's fans saying that ball was out of play on the far side. Play on. Nearly through for Benberg. The Queen of the South have kept the ball in. Tosh through on to O'Connor. Keane's inside the box too. Sean O'Connor holds up, flicks it across. There's nobody deep. Keane had broken. He'd made the run to the near post. The ball to the far post.
He's unfortunate. It's absolutely magnificent play. Firstly, the ball from Tosh to O'Connor. Now, he's got his head down. If you watch, he never manages to get his head up to see where his partner's gone. He's darted front post. He guesses back, and unfortunately, the pair never quite got it together.
Shows they're very positive in the approach so far. Problems there. Stephen Pedersen is down. Didn't play in the first European match that he has played. And the other two, well, they had a very, very easy time of it in their first match. Indeed, when Dundee United played against Mupa in 2005, and Gordon Chisholm's European debut as boss, Mupa had to come through a qualifying round, and just like Nordsjælland, they beat TV MK of Talent to progress to meet a Scottish club. They won 8-0 on aggregate. That seems like a long time away for Morten Weghorst, who might, if they go out tonight, might actually start thinking about his job. The bottom of the table and out of Europe wouldn't be a pretty picture to paint.
No, as a manager, you know you're under pressure the minute you end up at that end of the championship, and this could be the final nail, because a game, having gone to Scotland and won 2-1, many of the home fans would think this is an absolute stick-on certainty that we're going through the next round. They just didn't bargain on what Queen of the South were going to produce tonight.
The home team are being dominated by Queen of the South. They're being denied the ball. They can't do much.
No, it's the absolute perfect way to play. It's the way that Queen set out, and it's worked an absolute treat. And they have the bonus of the goal. They need another one, but as I said before, there's a long time to go. They don't need to press the game at all.
Jonathan Richter sends it out wide. Harrison. Richter again's made the run. Harrison's behind him, so to Kildentoft. Harris goes out to defend. Should be headed away well by Adams. It's the other Richter. And on a scale of 1 to 10, it gets a 2.
It's frustration. There's the only thing I can imagine. Plenty of bodies forward. You're looking to pick a pass, and he decides for some unknown reason that there might be a chance of knocking that home from 30 yards on the volley. Once again, it just looks like good news for Queen of the South when good players like that are making poor decisions.
Well, they were described to me as a very young and athletic side. There's a fair number of former under-21 players playing for Nordsjælland. None have yet to make it up to that next level. Although Martin Bernberg was in the international squad against Spain, he didn't play. Which would have sent his value up a little bit more. Bob Harris goes for the long throw. Flicked back in again by Burns. Not clear. Kept his eye on it all the way, Craig Reid. And Burns trying to go in there. Just a little shove alongside Richter. And over he goes.
Yeah, did ask for the corner kick, Paul Burns. Shoves into the back of the player there. It does. I think it does nick off him, but I think slightly cheeky appeal, I would have thought.
Well, asking you shall be given doesn't always come true. Johnny Lundberg. Just a hit and hope. Tim Thompson returns the favour. And Jesper Hansen easily takes. Given away by Thompson. Carlson on the far side. Kildentoft. Kibibi. A good time in the first leg, not enjoying the second. Well, that'll come through to Christensen. Moves away from Harris. Craig Barr goes out, sends Harris inside. On the overlap, it was a poor ball in. Pedersen made the run. And Harris can launch it clear. Kibibi just tried to hold up O'Connor. And Lundberg with a touchback to his goalkeeper. O'Connor's going to follow him. And Lundberg, that's about the quality of the ball away. They're not finding time to pick their passes. I must admit, they're playing like a team that are bottom of the league.
Well, it looks short on confidence, and if the goals rattled them even more, then so be it, because I expected them to have the ball, to be knocking it about, to be going side to side, the five in midfield, to keep possession, and they just haven't managed it at all.
Soren Christensen, a spell in the Swedish Premier League, is one of the experienced players in the side. It comes on to Tosh. Stevie Tosh plays it down again. Sean O'Connor being asked to run. Benjamin Kibibi. Touch to move away. Kildentoft. McFarlane in, spoiling. On for Adams. Adams is taken down. And Morten Carlson called to the attention of the referee once more. The referee decides just a foul, nothing more, off you go.
Great play by Jamie Adams. I think Carlson did actually try and pull out the tackle on him. That's the only reason I can think of that the referee hasn't booked him, because that must be 4 challenges he's now got away with. He's treading a very thin line.
Bob Harris, goal scoring hero, stands over the ball. So too Stevie Tosh. Thompson's forward, Adams forward, Barr forward. O'Connor up. There is so much pushing and shoving going on in that box.
We were told before the game something that I couldn't believe, and it's true. Carlson is marking Jim Thompson at set pieces. Now Carlson must be 6 inches too short for that job. Now whether they think he's just going to grab hold of him. I don't know. Hopefully the referee's having a close look in there, because that is a mismatch.
Yeah, we're told the smallest man picks up the biggest on the opposition. Played in, there's a little nudge there. It is going to be a goal kick. Well, the wee man and the big man, to use Scottish parlance, having a little tango there, and the wee man gets the decision.
It's actually offside. Jim Thompson's just gone too early.
Wasn't too impressed though, Morton Carlson.
No.
Ritter challenged. Craig Reid half-heartedly claiming. Simon Richter, foul throw. Applauded by Jamie Adams, French referee. Watching on. Craig Reid from Irvine, organising those ahead of him. Johnny flicks it back. Johnny Lundberg. It's just too far. Ellison didn't gather. Alice, acrobatic stuff. Good ball from Burns. Benberg, far a bit early. Benberg inside. Christensen. Again, simply played away by Keane. Up to O'Connor. Adams there. Keane's on the overlap. Just played it behind him.
He's unlucky, Jamie Adams. I think Stuart Keane, as a forward, wanted it ahead of him. Jamie Adams, as a midfield player, wanted to keep possession, didn't realise he was going to dart so far away.
Simon Richter gives the ball away. Adams moves it across. Tosh flicks it back onto Barr. Harris. The baby deals with it. Another blue jersey to put pressure on Morton Carlson quickly enough. Well, there's 3 round Richter, and he has to go back. Lundberg. Well, he goes for the magnificent ball.
I just don't think he can see a pass. Every time they get the ball, they're driven backwards, and eventually centre-backs decide, I'm going to have to try something different, and you're going for 60-yard passes. Very few of them will hit their target.
Burns put Reid into a bit of trouble there. And he did what he should do, just get rid of the ball, make sure it travels distance. A little bit early, breaks down to Burns. Burns onto Torse. It's a lovely pass back to Burns. What a touch from Burns. Keane is onside. Keane goes for goal. Delightful football from Queen of the South.
Beautiful link up, and you've got to credit Stuart Keane. He's playing in that wide left area, but he's a goal scorer, and he spots an opportunity. And as this builds, he gets himself into a great position. Brilliant play from Burns, and when it's played in there, he's got to take it early, got to take it first time. He just can't hit target.
Another side leading by the 2nd minute goal from Bob Harris. Farland battling on that far side. Adams in behind too. Not too much room, Patrice Bernier. And McFarlane does that roll in the midfield so well. Simon Richter under pressure from Burns. Kabibi, it's just hooked back. Carlson, hopeful ball forward. Sorry, Christensen, the 22-year-old looks up. Infield. Richter will send it wide. Edric Gildenthoff waits for it. Gildenthoff low into the box. It was Barr who turned it away. Harris goes after it. Up to the halfway line. Needs some help. Kenny Brannigan on the far side, the assistant yelling on the instructions. Christensen again. Push the ball through. Benberg. Chip ball across. And the home crowd restless again. Burns on to Reid. Craig Reid, one of the new players at the club. Gordon Chisholm refreshing his squad after the Scottish run last year. Stuart Keane, Craig Barbron, Halliwell, Gary Arbuckle, Michael McGowan and Cameron Bell all in. Bloomberg. KBB clears. Craig Bart picked up by Burns. Burns runs into Bernier. Thompson now on the channel. Simon Richter looked for help from his goalkeeper. His goalkeeper didn't give him any. Connor didn't want to foul him there. Up to his twin. And Jim Thompson says, take that. Sean O'Connor, that will go against Jamie Adams. He showed his studs. Sean O'Connor was going to move, but I think he realised it was a free kick. And his midfield colleague. Ellison. Back in the 1-2. Gildentop. And Bob Harris again. KBB. Martin Bernberg, who's coming further and further back. Carlson. On to Richter. Nice little touch and field by Bernberg, but he loses out. Tosh, Keane and Harris combining. Sean O'Connor. Ball will break back onto Tosh. O'Connor gets back up. Stuart Keane just slightly overhit on that far side of the pass from Paul Tosh.
Just the final ball that was missing from Paul Tosh. Once again, Stuart Keane made a great run to Paul Tosh.
I've done that before.
Far too many of them in the game.
Well, there's sometimes quite a lot of Tosh in Scottish football. But what we're seeing here from Queen of the South is a great performance. 8 times Scottish sides have travelled abroad, having lost 2-1 at home. 8 times they've gone out the competition. Aberdeen, the only Scottish team to win the away leg after a 2-1 home loss. They beat Bohemians 8 years ago and went out on away goals. Queen of the South leading by 1-0. Currently would go out. Nordsjælland, courtesy of those 2 goals scored on a wet night at Airdrie. Richter. Pedersen to Simon Richter. Jonathan's gone outside him. Into Bernier. Queens with 10 men behind the ball. Pedersen out wide onto Jonathan Richter. Richter closed down. And it's Tosh who was back for Queen of the South. O'Connor battling in there. Free kick will go against him.
He's not a player you would like to play against week in, week out, because he's at you all the time. You think, the time to just go across and shield this ball out? Absolutely no chance. Big Sean O'Connor doing absolutely everything within his power to make sure these Nordsjælland defenders get no time on the ball.
Well, it doesn't look like they're enjoying it. And Martin Carlson trying to urge his teammates on. And the confidence they had from the first leg was zapped from them with Bob Harris' 2nd-minute goal. But runs into trouble. Tosh was there. Tosh still has it. He's trying to play it on the ground. The referee will not allow that. The Queen of the South fans to our right don't agree, but it's the correct call.
When you get your feet around the ball like that and you're on the deck, the players aren't allowed to come in and boot you, so I'm afraid the referee just has to whistle straight away, because you just can't do it.
Half-time approaching. It's been almost the perfect first half for Queen of the South. They don't want anything to sour it. Christensen. Jonathan Richter onto his brother Simon. Thought about the shot on the right foot for a moment. Against Burns, does go for the shot. Little curler, good clean take from Cameron Bell. 21-year-old from Dumfries. On Kilmarnock's books, he's never played for them. He's enjoying life with his home team. club.
I'm not convinced it was going in, but the goalkeeper has to make a decision on what he's got to do there, because he's got to hold it, and he did it perfectly.
Carlson sends it wide. Come back all the way to Henrik Gildentoft, former Brøndby player. Several of the players here at Nordsjælland have found their way from Brøndby. There's another one of them. Jonathan Richter onto his brother, and it tried to be onto his brother. Burns had it. Reid has to stretch, and he'll get the decision. It's quite dangerous, actually, isn't it? To spot that first time.
It's 2-footed, and the studs are showing.
But apart from that,
well, the style was good. He gets good marks for style. The rest, the referee should have penalised him.
The referee allows play to continue. Martin Bernbach. Ernie alongside him. Blocked by Craig Barr. Good play from Barr. Keane goes in. It's on to Adams. Tosh just wanted it at his feet. Wasn't going to run for it. Christensen with the warning bells now. Jim Thompson snaps the neck back, edge away. Stuart Keane, direct touch ahead of Gildentoft. Now Keane looks up. He can only see Sean O'Connor in front of him. Goes past Carlson. Holds up. Gets support from Tosh. Tosh past Jonathan Richter. Easily. Burns is in here. Paul Burns. Good opportunity for Queen of the South. He cuts it back. Just not enough. Stuart Keane was almost in.
It's a dilemma. It really is for Paul Burns. Do I shoot or do I try and set up a teammate? I think he took the wrong option. I think there was too many red jerseys in there. He should have tried his luck.
I don't think you're alone in thinking that, Craig. Willie Dodds, who's here for BBC Radio Scotland, the strikers coach for Queen of the South, also felt that as he leapt up in front of us and turned to look at the heavens. The home side not looking comfortable, but they are the team that will go through if things stay exactly as they are. They'll go through on away goals. I wonder if they are kind of caught between coming forward to try and find the goal and sitting back. I think the thoughts of Pat and Des at half-time too. It was very calmly done by Craig Reid.
Beautiful defending. It's just knowing what's around you, nobody near, no problem if you hit it back, just give it to the goalkeeper. Here's the chance. Fantastic ball again from Stevie Tosh. And to be fair, he looks up, he sees there is two blue jerseys in there, but they were outgunned. I think if he fires that at the goalkeeper, there's maybe a better chance of it coming back, and then the possibility of a tap-in.
Harris for the challenge. I'm sure the referee particularly liked it. And it's out of play. So Queen of the South in the European debut in the UEFA Cup. Lost 2-1 at home as 2 additional minutes were replayed, leading here by 1-0. I did read that they went on the travels in May 1936. They had an 11-game tour, the first actual taste of football in Europe. France, Luxembourg and Algeria were visited. But on this stage in 2008, they've not frozen and they've come to Denmark. Carlson into the corner. Barr just knocks it out of play. 90 seconds to play. Queen of the South just want to get inside now.
It's an important time in the game. Gordon Chisholm's team talk is a lot easier if they go in 1-0 up. This is not a time to concede.
Harrison, Gildentoft, Thompson got it away. Richter's control takes the sting out the attack. Ernie to Bernbach. Jamie Adams been terrific, knocked it away, fell onto the shoulder of Tosh. Carlson on the angle, immediately closed down by Reid. Richter infield onto Bernier. Little chip ball on the angle, onside. Gildentoft made a great run. Jonathan Richter, it's taking a while to bring it in, but he's got to go past that far side. Reid. Well, the free kick awarded. The referee was in no doubt.
The referee sees a tug, and you can see not too many complaints from the Queen's defenders there. The hand goes up, there's another hand on, and the referee's quite right. And now it is vital, Queen's, every single body back in that box. Do not give anything away.
Now would not be the time. That's fist across. Headed away as Adams coming back. Carlson digs the ball in. Harris thought he was going to be outgunned by Lundberg. Certainly was undone in terms of height, but he won it well. Headed away in the end by Craig Reid.
They've been brave, the Queen's defenders. Everything that's gone in there, it's always a Scottish head that's been on it.
Let's get to half-time. That's all Gordon Chisholm will be thinking. Bernie thought about the hit, wouldn't come down for him. Jonathan Richter. Richter plays it in, Camembert comes for it, didn't get there. And what a piece of play that was. That shows you how quick Martin Bernberg is. He came out of nowhere. Last season's top goal scorer for the club. Almost nicked it in on half-time.
Fantastic run. I'm not sure if the ball was meant for him, but he gets into the dangerous area and almost picks Queens off right on half-time. But job done. 45 minutes gone.
What a perfect start it was for Queen of the South through Bob Harris. How's that for a free kick? Swerving away the goalkeeper. Completely and utterly fooled. And Bob Harris with a little kiss. It's been a great first half for Queen of the South. They lead in Denmark by 1-0.
Well, some palpitations at the end of the first half there, but so far so good for Queen of the South. 1-0 up at half-time. If they score one more and don't concede another, that's them through to the first round proper of the UEFA Cup, but easier said than done. Des McKeown, it was a pretty good first half for Queens.
Fantastic start. They did to Nordsjælland exactly what the Danes did to them at the Excelsior Stadium. Fantastic start, you know, really put the pressure on the home side. And so far, up until the last couple of seconds of the first half, they've not had any answers. So hopefully Queens can come out refreshed into the second half and take things up again.
The Danes, of course, set out at the start of the game, Pat, not to concede. They conceded early on and looked at sixes and sevens for a long part of that first half.
Yeah, they were definitely spooked. There was absolutely no doubt about that. I think the tactics were very, very good from Queens. Very impressive from them right from the start. So that's exactly what you wanted. But as soon as the kick-off happens, you see the ball goes up to the far end. Queens chase it down. It's shown a corner there. And it puts them in the back foot. And that's exactly what you want. They want to cruise through this, hope to get an early goal themselves. But this tackle start hitting in. And it's a dream start, isn't it, in many ways?
It's absolutely fantastic. Great play from midfield, you know, not giving the Nordsjælland players any space at all on the pitch. And you'll see that, obviously, from the start of the game. You know,
it was actually all the way through at the tackling from midfield, wasn't it?
They've been ferocious.
That's what you wanted.
Not giving Andy any time at all, which is tremendous.
Now, Des, right at the start of the game, I said Jamie McCulkin not in, but you said Bob Harris in, sort of give them a bit of a chance up front and maybe more of a goal threat. And how right were you?
Well, I was right, Dougie.
You were very right.
I was very right.
So
yes.
very right.
I thought from set plays, I wasn't really putting it down to direct shots from on goal. Certainly from corners and free kicks, I thought it would be a thorn in the Nordsjælland side. But it was better than that, you know, direct from the free kick.
The sun might have helped, but it was a great free kick that he had.
Well, Pat said right at the start of the game.
Yeah, well, it was hilarious the way every single fan couldn't actually see the ball. And I'm thinking, put the ball towards the goal, he'll not see anything. Now, I've got to say, there's a might suggesting that it might have touched a knee going by here. Is there a change of direction? It's very, very slight, if anything, but it's enough to completely confuse the goalkeeper. And of course, he's not got a cap on, you see there, but take nothing away from Bob Harris. What a strike that is.
Great strike, and I think it's maybe just nicked the charging player. You know, he's come out to shut the ball down. It's probably just spun off him. But I'll tell you what, it's on target anyway in the first instance, so there was every chance that it could have ended up in the back of the net anyway. Now,
quite interesting, because if we do an interview at the end, I'm sure that Bob Harris will say that went straight in goal. There's no way that took a deflection whatsoever. But defensively, I suppose, as well, Queens have not been chasing it, they've been sitting quite deep and at the right times as well there, Des. You know, they've not actually been pushing the ball. They don't really have to.
No, they don't have to because they got the early goal, but I also feel that in the first leg, they were exposed in behind. You know, I think Jim Thompson, Craig Barr, Jamie McQuilkin were getting dragged out, and the ball in behind was causing them real problems. You can see there that the Queen's defence are just quite happy to sit slightly deeper and not allowing any space in behind. Any balls that are going in behind are either generally running through to the goalkeeper.
It's just at the right time as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, when they're not, as you say, they suffered in the first game for that. But when the ball does get put in,
you can see there's 4 or 5 players crowding out the striker. So, good defensive performance from Queens, and that's been the real basis for the performance.
You've actually a slight problem though is actually keeping up that tempo for an entire 90 minutes. That may well be a problem later on in the game. But we don't know how fit the Danes are either. They may actually fade as well. So, you know, it's a great start. It's a great first half. They're where they want to be, and hopefully they can push on.
A strong first half defensively for Queen of the South, not quite so strong for one player.
Oh dear. right from the start, Kebebe, the first 2 or 3 times you get the ball, I thought, well, he's not having a nice game. And then I started sort of picking stuff apart, and I was beginning to wonder who he was playing for.
That's a perfect cameo of Kebebe in the first half, and you'll see another one here coming across. Looking, because Queens are sitting so deep, Dougie, they're letting the centre half have the ball, and what's he doing? He's giving it straight back to Queen of the South, and long may that continue.
See when he's having that sort of shocker, you realise that, you put him under pressure.
Like there, as you do there, absolutely.
And I tell you what, how unlucky. It could have been sent off, but to be honest, I think the covering player was there. And the best thing he'd done in this half was get that tackle in outside the halfway, outside the 18-yard line. But apart from that, I'll tell you what, you got to pressure that ball, you got to get right on top. And if you're Dobie on the bench, you're thinking, give me a chance against this lad. He's having a bad day at the office.
Now this, of course, we're talking about him and how poor a game he's having, but of course he scored the opening goal back in Scotland, you know, in the second minute and broke Queen's hearts there. But Queen's not only the goal in the second minute, but chances as well, Des, and fairly well created.
Yes, they have, and Sean O'Connor's, you know, been pivotal to this. You know, he's right at the focal point of it. You can see here that I think it's Stevie Tosh plays a lovely little reverse ball in behind. Sean O'Connor, always a willing runner. My one criticism here is I just think Stuart Keane's in too early. You know, Sean O'Connor's always going to come back out on his right side, and from that perspective, you'll see it better from this angle. Stuart Keane's too far in. If it's a left foot delivery, yeah, he's okay, but it's not going to be because Sean O'Connor's all right-sided. Yeah, well, I mean, Keane's only been there for a few weeks now. He's had a couple of goals for Queen so far this season, but I mean, it's good that they're creating the chances. You know, there was a chance for Keane as well. I mean, and maybe a bit more composure could have been showed, Pat.
Yeah, maybe so, but that's what you want. If you do break, you want to get into good positions. I think, I mean, you know, you're going to have a lash from there. Fair enough, and it's going to be a difficult skill to get it on. But just the fact that they actually get into these positions, they're putting the centre backs under pressure. And if they can continue to do this, and this is really near the end of the half, once again, it holds the ball up well. Obviously, the Queen's midfield are trying to get time to get off. This is a great ball, and just breaks right through the middle of it, exactly where you want it to be. But he's absolutely caught in two minds. Do a cross it, do a shoot, does neither. But, you know, if he gets into that position again, I'm absolutely convinced he'll know next time he'll have a lash at the goal.
I think there's been a great willingness.
I shouted smack it at that point.
Smack it, absolutely. No, there's a great willingness from Jamie Adams, Stevie Tosh and Paul Burns to go and support Sean O'Connor. Stuart Keane coming off the left side as well. So, willing runners, but as Pat has also commented, you know, how long can they keep it going? There probably need to be some changes during the early part of the second half to keep that tempo going.
They want to keep that going, but the absolute fear is if they keep that going, they push forward too much, they will leave a gap at the back.
I suppose a fairly scary thing, exactly, you mentioned the gap at the back. 46.5 minutes before Nordsjælland really got going, and when they did get going, they looked quite dangerous.
Well, they're home side, and they're going to get the odd chance now again. I have to say right now, I think Big Judd Thompson once again has had a fantastic game at the back there. But in this game, the forward gets just in front of him, and, you know, that was a good ball, so hard to defend against, and all the hard work would have been almost ruined. You could argue it could have been ruined. I haven't said that. Remember, going into the second half here, if Queens lose a goal, it's not a massive difference, really, because they still have to score a goal to get through. In this case, it was just have to score a goal to get into extra time. So it wouldn't be a total disaster if they lose a goal, but, you know, it'd been a kick in the guts, really, if they'd have lost a goal just then after such a good first half, because they were by it a long way, the better side.
Well, they certainly were. Second half coming up live here on BBC Two Scotland. Let's, though, have a wee look back at the weekend action in the SPL. Here it is in 60 minutes.
Rangers took the lead against Aberdeen at the Tawdry. David Weir with a header to put the Glasgow Giants 1-0.
Davey, I think that's your lucky anorak, and I tell you what, it's bringing you luck tonight. It's been a fabulous first half so far.
Oh, it's been a cracking first half, but my goodness, what about that first minute, you know, that goal? We got that free kick well outside the box, and up came Bob Harris, and he absolutely rifled it into the net. It was a cracking goal. So that, what a start we had, you know. We, when we played them at Airdrie, you know, back in Glasgow, you know, they got a goal in 2 minutes, but here we've come back and we've just dealt them the same treatment as they dealt out to us, you know, in Glasgow. So this is absolutely fantastic, you know, that we've got this goal. And I said today, all day, the best result we could have at half-time was to be 1 goal up, because they'll not know what to do, whether to go for another goal and try and kill the game off or defend, you know. But I think they're a young team and they're going to attack us and they put us under a bit of pressure from time to time, but they haven't looked that dangerous in front of goal, actually.
And that 1,000 or so Queen's fans that you've got over with you, they're making a real racket behind the goal there. I think you were down to see them twice today. They'd taken over the centre of Copenhagen, they were at the Dubliner pub, just as well he didn't have to buy them all a drink. They're having a great time.
Oh, they're having a fantastic time. It's great to come through here, you know, and they said they would get behind the club and cheer them as much as possible and try to be an extra man, you know, but the other players are having to work very hard, you know. They're passing the ball around very well in Nordsjælland and they're giving us a very hard game. They're a very quick team, a very good team, and they pass the ball well. And our boys are having to work hard to contain them, you know. But nevertheless, I still think when we get on goal, we're probably more dangerous team of the two. So I think we're in with a great chance here, you know, and if we can just get that next goal, you know, and we're going to make the biggest surprise in Scottish football for a long, long time.
Well, it could be coming, and just before half-time you almost had one when the ball was squared across goal, keeper went down, took it well, but that must give you great heart, great confidence for the second half.
Oh yes, I think the boys will go in there, you know, and the manager no doubt will be talking to them, you know. He was just saying there, I noticed him the 5 minutes before half-time, you know, he was flapping his hands by his side, you know, just saying, calm it down, boys, you know, keep it at 1-0 at half-time, don't lose a goal. And they defend it very well, you know, and they was under quite a bit of pressure. But I feel, you know, he'll come out and reorganise. I don't know whether he'll make changes at this moment in time, you know, but some of our boys will be starting to get tired legs, you know. But there we are. It's tremendous that we'll go up at half-time and we're really, really right in this race for qualifying. No question or doubt about it.
And just finally, Davy, you used to be a farmer. This beats ploughing tatties for a living.
Oh, this beats farming upside down, you know. When I was farming, I got up 4:45 in the morning, 365 mornings of the year. So I don't have to get up at this time, but mind you, I can tell you when it comes down to the last 10 or 15 minutes, it's still 1-0, you know. It gets a bit stressful, doesn't it?
Let's keep the fingers crossed, Davy.
OK, thanks a lot.
Davy Ray with Jim Spence there, the battle of the Barnets. So what do Queen of the South have to do in the second half, Des McKeown?
Well, they need to start the second half in exactly the same manner as they did the first. They need to go and put pressure on the ball. They need to try and put the pressure on the Nordsjælland defence, get them turned, do exactly what they did early on in the game, and then try and take a chance and get through into the next round.
Pat, briefly?
Keep that pressure on that centre-back for a kick-off.
That's it. Kibibi is going to get a bit of pressure on, definitely. So, well, let's enjoy the second half. Queen of the South need a goal and not to concede one, and they're through to the first round proper of the UEFA Cup. Enjoy the second half with Craig Patterson and Paul Mitchell.
Thank you, Dougie. To paraphrase our former Prime Minister Tony Blair, this is not a time for sound bites, but Queens feel the hand of history on their shoulder. A change has been made as these fans are feeling the heat. Andreas Dahl is introduced into the action, and withdrawn is our friend Morten Carlsen, he of the head box.
I'm slightly surprised. I thought he was the player who definitely tried to drive them forward, wanted to get on the ball, wanted to make things happen. Whether he's picked up a knock, I'm not so sure, but maybe just Morten Vikhorst deciding fresh legs in there to combat the fire that's been shown by the midfield trio of Queen of the South. They maybe just figured he had to change something in there, get somebody more physical in just to do battle with him.
Well, Scottish sides have scored in 4 of 8 return legs after a 2-1 loss, and the Aberdeen have won the match, but they've gone out on away goals. So Queen of the South are hoping here to find a second goal, as that one will go against Jamie Adams. It'll be a sore one too. Perny just in there. Interesting to know, all 4 Danish sides won 2 weeks ago in this competition. 3 of the 4 sides played away from home, so they've had a pretty decent run, and this will be surprising them.
Well, I would have thought so, because I definitely believe, because Queen of the South are not in the SPL, they're not a big name side, they thought this was like a bye for them, especially after winning the first leg, but now they know they're right in a match.
Confirmation of Andreas Dahl, former Helsingborgs player, started out at Coventry. Comes on, Harris, easily away from Christensen. Such are the complexities of 2-legged ties. The home side while behind or ahead. And Queen of the South need a goal. And Queen of the South do get a second goal, and then Nordsjælland score, we are looking at extra time. Patterson just limping away. Killincroft dealt with well. Tosh looked up. Always takes a little bit of time that's available to him. Confirmation of the starting line for Queen of the South and for Nordsjælland here in Denmark. Around about 16-17 miles from Copenhagen. You see Nordsjælland, who came around in 1991, originally in Farum BK, two sides merging. Nordsjælland in 2003, which stands for North Zealand, a part of the island that we're on here in Denmark. We're trying to broaden the appeal out beyond Farum itself, which has a population of 18,000, trying to get a wider region. In the Superliga for the last 6 seasons. On this aside for Scotland's second tier. Sean O'Connor tries to flick the ball on. Kibibi comes across. Well, he had time to pick out a pass on that far side to Simon Richter, but he didn't fancy it, he just wanted it away.
I think his composure's gone completely. He had a torrid time in the first half. He does not really want to be isolated one-on-one with Sean O'Connor. I think he's now decided that clearing his lines is the best way for him to deal with the situation.
Burns. It's a poor ball into the box. Dealt with well by Bernier. Harris heads it back in. Lundberg. McFarlane. O'Connor goes up. Keane goes in behind. Just angled well enough away from him by Benjamin Kibibi.
He did well that time. I think he realised Stuart Keane was coming, but he had enough time just to complete the clearance back to the goalkeeper.
Martin Benberg just turns, holds his hands out wide to his goalkeeper as if to say, what was that? And if you're a fan of reading body language, the body language of the Danes ain't too good at the moment. O'Connor. Adams battles for it, wins it away from Christensen. Loses out though. Vernier. A spell with Kaiserslautern last term. Pedersen. Killentoft. Wants some help, gets it from Dahl. And right again. Jonathan Richter infield. Well hassled by O'Connor. Good trio getting involved. Sean O'Connor wanted to play it out wide to Keane. It's not been too bad a start to the second half for Queen of the South.
No, I think they were under the cosh, you know, only for the last 5 minutes of the first half, so they want to get themselves back on the ball, make a few passes, and then start to pressure the Nordsjælland defence again. But at the moment, they can't quite get their foot on the ball as well as they did in the first 45.
The Wild Tigers, to give them the nickname of Nordsjælland, are looking to find a way to try and trouble the Doonhamers. Lundberg on the angle. Thompson read it well. Breaks out wide. Richter wanted too long. Comes back to his brother. Bernie just swipes it in. And easily taken by Cameron Bell. He had one save in the first half. We weren't sure if it was going wide or not. He's not been pressured at all.
I think that'll surprise him coming into a game of this magnitude. You know, hasn't had a lot of match time, and he's found it very, very easy, well protected by his back four.
Craig Reid forward. Sean O'Connor tries to get ahead of Lundberg. Lundberg's header. Dahl brings it down. Vernier onto the near side. Stefan Pedersen. Pedersen running at Harris. Tries to send it across. That was a decent ball. It was a good run forward by Christensen. Shouts for handball. That came against Dahl. The referee wasn't actually looking. He was checking something behind him. Killentoft out wide. Simon Richter trying to find his brother, just passed it by him. Martin Benberg, he is the danger man. Bernier sends it wide. The twins on the far side. Jonathan Richter sends it across. A bit of pushing and pulling going on. Referee allows play to continue. Keane loose away. Bernier. McFarlane goes in. Good sliding challenge. It breaks wide. And Richter sends it across. He's not the better of the two when it comes to trying to finish.
No, it was a good idea though. You know, he's gone for that far top corner, and if he gets there, very difficult for the goalkeeper. But every time they try and come down the middle, if it's not centre backs, it's Neil McFarlane, it's Jamie Adams, it's Stevie Tosh, there's always a player there. Get a boot in.
Martin Vigors looks on. 9 attempts on goal. You see the balance on the caption. Throw forward. Harris still only 20 years old, candidate for the under-21 squad. Just caught there by Henrik Killentoft. And it's the set plays that they were looking for in the first half.
I thought they were going to try and take a quick one. I'm thinking, no, wait till you load up that box. Get the 2 centre-backs in there, you get Sean O'Connor in there, and then you just knock a ball in. It was a foul. He did eventually stand on the ball, but he'd been nicked before. And it's a chance again, either Stevie Tosh with the in-swinger or Bob Harris with the out.
Bob Harris delivers. The goalkeeper wasn't sure. It was actually too close. And he was allowed it to run, but the goalkeeper wasn't quite sure where he was there.
I think initially the goalkeeper's going to come for the cross. Now, is that a shot? As he tried to take him on, you know, the goalkeeper comes off his line, scrambles back. It wasn't far beyond the back post. But I'd be more than a little surprised if that was actually a shot.
Nordsjælland have failed to score in 2 of their 3 home games this season in the Superliga. They did rattle in 5 against the Estonian VMK of Tallinn. Best ever European result, the 5-0 win. Thrown into Persson. Persson sends it out wide. Jonathan Richter, his brother on the overlap. Simon goes for the byline. And they have a corner kick. Have to expect at some point they will get a bit of pressure on Queen of the South.
Well, they did at the start, you know, or should I say the end of the first half, and they're trying to pick up the pace at the start of the second, and it's just important times for Queens. You can see everybody back again. They know they can't afford to concede. They've got to backtrack. They've got to do the defensive duties and hope to create another chance.
Well dealt with by Craig Reid. He wasn't hanging about, got up well. And with the corner, there's a man standing right on the edge of the box. It's Andreas Dahl. Nobody is there with him. The ball's whipped in. Header came from Sean O'Connor, and Stuart Keane took that well. Keane on the far side, just bundled over. And the referee will go for the pocket. And unsurprisingly too, was a little bit Stephen Persson, who has to be careful because he was really going for it there in terms of what he said to the referee.
Well, he's coming back at full speed, and Stuart Keane's clever. He feels it coming, just knocks the ball away, takes the hit, goes to ground. He gets the free kick, and another midfield player who's on his last warning has to be careful.
Last season, Aberdeen beat FC Copenhagen 4-0 at Pittodrie. Scotland getting the better of Denmark once again. An equally memorable night perhaps here in Ferrum Park. It's 10,000 all-seater stadium. As Thompson, disappointingly, pops it into one of those 10,000 seats on the far side. Simon Richter. And on to Jonathan Richter, and just knocked away by Jamie Adams. Kabibi. On to Lundberg. Regular here in the last 2 seasons. Compared to Kabibi in his first. Cap once for Sweden, Kabibi. He's trying the long pass forward. That's beautifully taken down, and good defending it was from Reid. Benberg wanted it. Ball dropped back. Christensen onto Persson. Well, it hurts, but Barr did the job.
And even more importantly before that was the intervention of Craig Reid, who got himself in beside her, behind his centre-backs, because the first touch is good there. You think he's going to pick his spot. But great play from the full-back to get in, and then when it comes back, brave once again. Make sure you block shots. You've got to take the knock for the good of the team.
Top goal scorer this season, and last on the ball. I thought he was rather unlucky not to get a free kick there. Breaks out wide to Persson. Pedersen on the overlap. With a ball played back, Gildentoft. That's just poked in. No power. Patrice Bernier and Cameron Bell, the willing recipient. Queen's break quickly. Tosh on the far side, just overhits, just not sticking up front for Queen of the South at the moment.
They just can't get into the area of the park where they want to dominate. They can't involve Sean O'Connor, and because that midfield players are just not getting up in support at all, and it's just a difficult time just now. Nordsjælland really picking up the pace, and their passing's a lot slicker.
Jonathan Richter, Martin Vigor certainly has had words. Benberg inside the box, he's holding on, he's going to go for that himself. And Thompson goes in, a rather unusual choice, I thought.
Looked like a shot.
Yeah.
Brilliant play to get along the byline. You look up, you try and pick out a teammate, but I just think he had one thing in mind, is get the ball in the back of the net. He doesn't have a lot to hit, to be fair to him, and probably decided from there just smack it across. It may come off a defender and end up in the back of the net.
The corner count is clear. They're making nothing of them. Half a dozen corners, no chances have led from them. Andreas Dahl to Jonathan Richter, to forward once more. Benberg came short, and I want him in the box. Back onto Dahl. Pedersen stretched well for it. Harris responded though. And it's with Keane, on to Tosh, back to Keane. Tosh again, but nobody forward. Sean O'Connor saying it was bad defending there. And if they see enough of the ball, Tigers in red will certainly take some chances and put Cameron Bell under more and more pressure. Johnny Lindberg in on the right foot. McFarland at the second attempt. Watching Sean O'Connor there for a moment, not sure if he's limping. Gildentoft. Christensen, Pedersen into the box, breaks off Adams. Harris has time. Harris looking for O'Connor, looks like he is running okay, tries to get the touch away from Kibibi. Better defending from Kibibi that time. And Lundberg infield. Bernier. Bernier through the middle, Benberg waits for it. Dawson made a nice little run. It's off Harris. Corner count continues as Queen of the South are thinking about a change. Stephen Dobie, I think, and it is. Comforting arm of the manager round his shoulder. Trace Bernier. Well, back here on by Christensen, that's adventurous. And over the top it goes, Stefan Pedersen. Let's take the chance to remind you, very acrobatic, that should Nordsjælland score, it actually doesn't change things. Queen of the South have to score again in this game. It would, of course, take it to extra time rather than be a winner.
You can see why, you know, the manager's looking at the thing. His team have fallen out the match. He knows he needs a goal, so he's bringing on probably the best finisher. The question is, does he team him up with Sean O'Connor up front, or does one of the midfield players come off and they play a similar system, just with the guile of Dobie involved?
Every question has an answer. And Gordon Chisholm wants to get Dobie on right now. It's on the far side from where we watch. With no advance notice. The paperwork has not been completed. So Benjamin Kibibi can play it forward. Dahl. Gildentoft. Back on to Kibibi. Johnny Lundberg. Scored in the away leg. There's a threat from set plays. Made anything of the corners. It's Jim Thompson. Calmly done, knew where his goalkeeper was, picked him out. And a good night so far for Cameron Bell.
Still nice and easy. He's a lot of ball down his end of the park, but so far not too many direct shots to warm his hands.
Trace Bernier starts the move. Christensen onto Pedersen. A little dummy that time. And Bernier. And Bob Harris away onto Keane. Harris again going for the long pass. Lundberg won it, might break for Adams. Snapped in around Christensen. Comes Dahl. Under half an hour to play. Fascinating night in Denmark. Queen of the South, first UEFA Cup campaign, the first European campaign, and they're right in this one. Having conceded in their last 2 games, 3 clean sheets and 6 coming into tonight. At the moment, it's not the clean sheet that's the concern. It's getting another goal. Adams just held off that time by Pedersen. Christensen gets the better of Barr that time, but McFarlane in to help out. Kind of play that central defenders love. Neil McFarlane, come and help you out when you've made the error.
Yeah, there's a lot of the dirty work just in that area where it's a lot of spoiling. He's not often seen on the ball, but terrific job for the team. And Stephen Dobie on the far side still waiting for this ball to get a play so he can make his entrance.
Neil McFarlane, with European experience, played a couple of campaigns with Hearts. Stephen Dobie, if memory serves me right, had an inter-toto appearance for Hibs against Vetra. Not the most memorable. But Simon on to Jonathan. It's a great play from Barnes, just eased him off. Won the ball, tried to link up with O'Connor. Lundberg knocks it out of play. The assistant has got no idea which way to give it.
He just looked to the referee and allowed the referee to pick.
It's number 10, held up, Jamie Adams. Bad knee injury last season, they really missed him, and he showed tonight exactly what they have missed.
Terrific performance. I think he realised he was going to run out of steam, but Gordon Chisholm's told him, look, give me an hour, don't hold anything back. After that, we'll bring on fresh legs, just go and do your job. And he was terrific while he was out there.
So Stephen Dobie introduced into the action. 1 goal this season, that against Partick Thistle. He's a man with a mission for his side. He's also a man with a mission for himself. We want to show that he should have been on the pitch from the start. It will come to it. Came off the touch of Dahl. O'Connor almost going through. A glimmer of light for Queen of the South. Remember, it's a good ball back in field. Richter looks up. Pedersen's made a good run. Richter's going for it. Tell you what, he hit that well. In his European debut for the club, he was looking for his first European goal.
Check the goalkeeper's reaction. He flies across there. He knows that's close, and that is a beautiful strike. A real dipper just wide of that right-hand post.
I didn't think they'd hang about either. Bajram Fetai, that looked like to me. And ready to come on. Dobie breaks the challenge well. Played through it, did hit the hand. Shot O'Connor for Queen of the South. The goalkeeper's legs. Well, sometimes you see the goalkeeper opening up. It didn't happen for him there, and he hit it straight at him.
The angle's against him, but magnificent play from Dobie. Just on the park, gets the ball down, threads it through. I thought O'Connor's first touch was decent. Angle was difficult, but what would Queens have given to have that one in the back of the net?
Gilden Toft. He's the ball back in field. I have to admit, I didn't expect this much tension in the game tonight. It's wonderful. Simon Richter. Into Bamber. Has to be watched so closely, and Harris sliding in on the right foot that time. Dobie battles O'Connor. Kibibi looks like he's settled down, but only as far as McFarlane. Here comes Keane. Keane delightful onto Dobie. He's got 3 against him though. Dobie just trying to hold up. He'll hear the shouts from O'Connor. Burns is out wide too. He'll knock it slightly further back onto Craig Reid. Good hold up play. Now Burns. 2 in the box for Queen of the South. It takes the deflection up, and the goalkeeper gathers. It was disappointing when the deflection doesn't work for you.
No, final ball was missing, but you can see the influence of Stephen Dobie. The minute he comes on the park, he'll take things down, he'll twist and he'll turn, and he'll get players involved.
So Thompson winning the header. Bernberg was looking for a free kick there. Play on. Pedersen. Stephen Pedersen blocked that time. And Harris up onto Keane. Laid off perfectly. Dobby was Keane the shout. It's just overhit Sean O'Connor. He's done so much work. Sometimes you just want it in at your feet, give you the chance to take it in and then make something happen.
He made 3 magnificent passes, but he's got it back.
Dobby going through, checks up, went for it himself. O'Connor looks like he's absolutely shattered. I'm wondering if he will be withdrawn. Whereas Henrik Kildentoft isn't indulging in some bizarre Danish dance. I think he's asking his back four to calm down.
Well, Sean O'Connor, like Jamie Adams, has absolutely run his legs off. You know, he's been everywhere, out wide, in the middle, battling with centre-backs. You can understand that he's lost a little bit of zip, but I think just for 5 or 10 minutes while Dobby's there, it's nice to see the pairing together. Christensen comes forwards. And Cameron Bell will watch that all day. Change about to be made. And Pedersen is about to be withdrawn. And Fatai will come on. It was a great opportunity for Sean O'Connor. Goalkeeper, a credit to him, he did close the legs very quickly. I think he realised what was happening. Figured the only way past is actually through me, and managed to get his legs together quickly. So Fatai comes on, 22-year-old from Tetov. He's experienced Scottish football. And he wants to have the experience of putting a Scottish club out of Europe. Shouts for handball, not given. Bernier gets it back. Nordsjælland really wanting his influence on the game, but it's given away. And McFarlane doesn't waste it. On to Dobby. Finds some space. It's a brilliant ball. Here comes Burns. Burns, Lundberg's come out up against him. Burns, what can he do? It's called a rhetorical question. He didn't look up. He got his head down. He ran at his man, and it was 2 for 2 in the middle. There was definite opportunity if he got the ball in early. Stuart Keane is being withdrawn. He scored 2 in his debut against Berwick Rangers. He had scored in 3 of the 6 games this season. He has drifted out of it slightly. Jamie McCoken. He was the player who was getting treatment for cramp. He went down just a minute ago, Paul, and one of his teammates was getting the old foot moving to try and get rid of the cramp. And it's just one of these things that players, having given so much, I think you've just got to take them off. Queens cannot afford passengers. Dobby has come on and made a difference. Get the ball into his feet. There's still a real chance of that second goal. But I think in midfield areas, you've got to make sure the legs are in there just to protect that back four. 20 minutes to play. Harris will hook the ball clear. Infield back, Kildentoft. Again, just running too long. There's Dahl. Here's McCoken. Played for Grekna in Europe. Now doing it in the blue of Queen of the South. And he's introduced into the action within 60 seconds. Here's Queen of the South's first corner of the evening. That's a brilliant run. I mean, he's only Sean O'Connor to hit. Realises there's very little point in knocking the ball in there. So he just runs towards the line, tries to hook his foot round it, and anything down in this area is a bonus. A corner kick allows Jim Thompson to get in the box. I think Craig Barr's there as well. Sean O'Connor, plenty targets. Bob Harris needs another beauty in with that left foot. Harris didn't deliver particularly well. It wasn't defended well. Neil McFarlane would be an unlikely scorer as he scoops it higher up. One of these ones, you've got to take it the second it comes into you. I think it's just that last minute, you think glory for a second, and then there's a challenge coming in, but he's really just chipped into the bottom of the ball and sent it way high into the crowd. Tell you what would be horrible tonight is if Queen of the South do win 1-0 and go out in away goals. We don't want any of this glorious failure stuff. How many people did we speak to this afternoon in town who could just see that happening? We thought their team were good enough to win. They just wondered if they're enough in the tank to win by enough goals. Burns played it forward. What indecision at the back. Burns goes in there again. Lundberg got caught. Not really sure he got caught all that hard, but he went down to draw the free kick.
Tell you what, Sam Richter at the back, he's looked okay coming forward, but he's looked a little bit suspect in at the back.
Look at that, there's one or two players. There's nothing in that challenge at all, is there? The player goes down and the referee just blows a whistle as soon as he hits the deck. But it was just a long ball, but the minute you let it bounce, somebody has got to take charge. The two players looked at each other, you do it, no, you do it, and almost gave Queens a chance to nick in between them.
Sadly, didn't look up the Danish for Big Jesse. I did learn the word push earlier on. That was about the only Danish I've learned. No, I even can't remember that. Nordsjælland in their third European campaign against Queen of the South in their first. 2 apiece on aggregate, the home side. The Danes holding the away goal lead. Queen of the South have to score again. Thompson clears. That will come through onto O'Connor. Lays it back well onto Tosh. He just knew there'd be a runner on the near side in the shape of Bob Harris. Into O'Connor, taken down. Easy free kick. Baby.
Bob Harris, again, somebody was going to take a quick one, and he says, no, no, no. Definite free kick. Good play from Sean O'Connor. And it's just another ball going to head right into that mixer.
These teams want to be in the mix of the UEFA Cup draw on Friday. 80 teams will take part in the draw. Will Queen of the South be one of them? Thompson, infield. O'Connor comes down to him, almost breaks his way, breaks past Barr as well. And now Queen of the South have to be careful on the break, although they do have men back. Fatai sent wide. Tried to let the 1-2. It's the 2 substitutes there. Don't give anything away. Jamie McQuilkin, they were shouting behind that goal. He did perfectly well. That's excellent play for Queen of the South. Absolutely excellent.
Terrific tracking, and the minute you get in the box, don't stick a foot in and just shield the player, make him go away from goal, and eventually, when asked to make a pass, the Nordsjælland sub couldn't do it.
Nordsjælland nil, Queen of the South 1. Bob Harris, after 2 minutes, a free kick. Since then, Queen of the South haven't had too many chances. They have had a couple. You've got a feel another 2 or 3 may flow their way in the last 16 minutes. Dahl infield. And I'm fairly certain for the first time in its history, Fareham Park, which was built just a few years ago in 2000, here's the cry of get into them for the first time. Queen's fans making the noise. It's McQuilkin. It's a great player to have to come on, Jamie McQuilkin. Great experience. Jammer as he's known. Harris forward. O'Connor. Dobie trying to get there. Hooked away by Lundberg. Only as far as Tosh. Back into Dobie. Great control from Dobie. Bernie didn't foul him there. But that's offside. Bernberg had just gone too early. 22-year-old forward went too early. Corinne Legrand putting the flag up correctly.
No, she didn't.
From a Scottish point of view, she put it up correctly.
We'll definitely take it. But I think he timed her in perfectly. To perfection, even.
That was offside by mine. None of this neutrality nonsense now. 15 minutes to play. Can Queen of the South find a second goal?
They found a second win, Paul, from somewhere, and I don't know if it's substitutions, but from somewhere they seem to have picked up, found an extra gear, and now we're seeing a lot of play in the Nordsjælland half.
The Scottish side to take a 2-1 defeat away from home as Hearts in 2006. They lost 3-0. The goalkeeper for some reason decided to punch. It's pushed across and Burns got the shot in. Well, the goalkeeper should have held that. There's no doubt about it, and Paul Burns was taken by surprise.
What's the goalkeeper doing? He comes for it. There's nobody challenging him. He punches it down, and Paul Burns, it comes to him sharp, but he's got to get more on it.
Dobie wanted to put that out into the path of Harris on the far side. Bernie, the gaps might start to appear now. Fatai hasn't spotted Richter on this far side. Ball played back into him. Oh, Jamie McQuilkin tucking in at left back temporarily. Bob Harris was way in the right wing position. O'Connor tries to hook it down. Hansen continues to berate his teammates. Perhaps have a little look at himself first. Reid was caught late. Well, the free kick awarded. Referee Tony Chaperon, the Frenchman, wanders over. And the yellow card comes out. Well, there are poor time challenges, and there's that one from Christensen.
Yeah, well, he's come across, and there is a coming together, but I don't think there was any malice in the challenge. He's got the foot down by the time the contact's made, and it's just another case. If it looks serious and there's a shout from the crowd, I think the referees are far too quick to go to the yellow cards.
Long ball into the box. Lundberg favourite for it. McFarlane goes in, tries to roll it wide onto Burns. Does so. Burns chips it in field. Headed away by Dahl. Comes out onto Tosh. Onto McFarlane. McFarlane, that's not a great ball. In time from Neil McFarlane. Looks to me, Craig, like Nordsjælland just decided, I think they're going to try and sit back and just defend this.
They went for it at the start of the second half. They didn't really create anything, and I think the manager may have decided that that's enough of that. We've got this game. If it stays the way it is, we're through. Here's the chance. Dreadful punch. Paul Burns, you watch, he just can't dig it out. The ball's underneath his feet. He just can't dig it out and get enough purchase on it to worry the keeper.
Well, the South are thinking about another change on that far side. They're going to have to go for it now. They need a second goal. Oh, it's an exit on away goals. Like Dundee United in 1993, they went out on away goals to Bromby. If memory serves correct, the second leg was at Tannadice. Dahl. It's wide. Simon Richter. Richter infield. Ty's made a good run. Barr's all the way across with a good play. Craig Barr. He's been a good pickup. Ford will go up on the far side. Scott Robertson will be introduced into the action. And Neil McFarlane will have to give way. So arguably a more creative player coming on. Neil McFarlane's done his job tonight. Scott Robertson, the 20-year-old from Irvine, is charged with doing his.
Well, I think you need constructive ahead of destructive now. Everybody knows second goal or Queens are out, and at some point you've got to go for it. And Gordon Chisholm, with his final substitution, has decided that that's the way forward.
Time ticking away. Benberg plays it forward, no matter if Nordsjælland score. Queen of the South have to score anyway. Harris taking on Benberg in the box. That's not the best thing he could have done, but Benberg was beaten. Kibibi. On to Richter, who's splitting his time left and right. Back onto Dahl. Simon Richter on that far side. Thompson wasn't going to buy that dummy. And Dobie with a long ball for O'Connor to chase. Up against Kibibi. Anything can happen with Kibibi. Dealt with it pretty well. Kildentoff that time in field onto Lundberg. Have they just regained their composure in time? Thompson didn't want to waste that by thumping it away. The little tickle onto Tosh. Harris onto Burns, he's offside. Just went that little bit early.
Yeah, to be fair to him, he's come middle out to wide. Normally these wide players, you can look across, but you can see he's got his back to the play, and clever defending. Stood up there, arms go up in unison, and the linesman on the far side says, yep, you're right, lads, offside.
Nordsjælland had never lost more than a single goal in any of their 3 home European ties. Queen of the South looking to make a bit of Scottish history tonight. Maybe the first team to come back from a home defeat and qualify. They need to hit the back of the net. Here's McQuilkin. McQuilkin just blocked Kildentoff. Robertson showed good turn of pace and knocked it off Kibibi as well.
Just another chance to get in the final third. I think Bob Harris is thinking, no, let's not waste it. They can't get the short throw. Get Jim Thompson forward and just launch one in the box.
Bob Harris, that is launched. Thompson trying to get his head on it, might come down to him. Calmly dealt with in the end. Just pushed away, not taking too many chances there, the captain. Kildentoff, former under-21. And vocally, one of the loudest players on the field. Harris tumbles as he throws. Robertson plays it across. Burns knocks it back. It's on to Tosh. Couldn't even take a deflection, unfortunately, and behind it goes.
Slightly surprised at Stevie Tosh there, because I don't think the ball was ever there to be hit. It's coming back to him. He's a long way out. It's not really sitting perfect, and you can see a lot of blue jerseys there. I thought he was just going to flip this one back into the box and maybe look for Sean O'Connor at that back post.
The home fans nervous. The away fans remain in good voice. There's a little tug on the jersey part on Bernberg that time. Alongside just trying to play a bit of possession football. Side of play. To the South, 11 goals this term coming into tonight. They've got one from that man Bob Harris. Is there anybody else in blue that can supply? Thompson towering ball forward. Lundberg, now the play goes, and every time they get a throw or a free kick inside their opponent's half, the fans cheer. The adrenaline surges. Now Tosh, take a touch. Great touch by Tosh. Went for the volley. Robertson, that's brilliant control. Good block too by Andreas Dahl. Give him credit. And Kildentoff with a lovely little flick up. Jonathan Richard. Infield it goes. Bernier waits for it. Kildentoff continued his run. McCulkin couldn't come back. Kildentoff looks up. Pushes it infield. Beautiful finish, Martin Bernberg. The equaliser on the night. And Nordsjælland get their goal.
That's the sucker punch, isn't it? Everybody's forward and then the quick break, and it's good play from Nordsjælland. But look at the Queen's players. They want that ball back out. They know this game's still live. That's not a great goal to lose, but he's cleared down the side and he picks out the right man, and that's a really cool finish. No chance for the goalkeeper, but the minute that ball hit the back of the net, and you can see, cool finish. Stevie Tosh and two others were going to get the ball back. There's still time. Another goal, you take it to extra time. Queens are still in this.
That could be Martin Bernberg's last goal for Nordsjælland. FC Copenhagen want him back. Brøndby want him as well. They say it'll take big money to take him away here from Ferrum Park. The target of Queen of the South hasn't changed. They must score. They simply must score. All it out. 5 minutes to play. And instead of the next goal for Queens being a winner, they would rescue the tie and send it to extra time.
And who knows what happens once you get there, because there's going to be a lot of tired legs out there and tired minds, and that's when mistakes are made and goals can come. But it's 5 minutes of good old-fashioned up and at 'em. Just get the ball forward every chance you get. It doesn't have to be pretty. Just launch it into the opposite half and see if something falls for you.
A little tug there, that will go against Tosh. Aberdeen are the last Scottish side to lose over 2 legs to the Danish side. Lost 2-0 at home against Brøndby and then drew 0-0 away. Queens have made it interesting tonight through that second minute goal, but with 6 minutes to play. Martin Bernberg, for the 5th time in Europe this season, finds the back of the net. Only the 2nd time from open play. And Nordsjælland will be putting everything into just keeping Queen of the South out. First time this evening, Nordsjælland fans find the drumsticks. was going to say rattle out of tune, but that would be doing the drum a disservice. Gildentoff, key part in the goal. Dahl. And to be fair, the home side looked like a different side at the moment. Richter tries to get away, goes over, get up. Simple as that. There's never a penalty.
Well, if it's not a penalty, then I would imagine it's a booking for going down far too easy. The referee's got to make one decision or the other.
Here comes Burns, infield looking for O'Connor. Lundberg just sticks out the limb and gets it away. Robertson trying to play it infield. Martin Bernberg. Will surely play for the Danish national side before the year is out. Late challenge. Jamie McCoken. You just start to think that the dream is about to be extinguished.
If it was all Queens just now, you know, and balls were flying about the opposition box, you could see a goal coming, but here's the penalty, if you like. Is there a slight touch there? Certainly not enough to knock him over like that. Going down far too easy, and you can see with the reaction of the Queens players, they were absolutely livid.
That wasn't particularly clever. Changes being made. And the man withdrawn is Patterson. Patricia Nelson trying to get involved in the action. 2 minutes plus stoppage time to play at Fairham Park. It's a decent ball through. Cameron Bell beaten for the first time as the goalkeeper of Queen of the South, having kept clean sheets domestically. Kabibi goes down, absolutely nobody near him. Little slip. A lot of tired bodies out there. Time is being wasted. Confirmation of the change. Christian Nielsen on. Bernberg trying to go through the middle. He's shrugged off his man. This would be cruel on Queens. Football's a cruel game. Simple ball through the middle, and Martin Bernberg shepherded Nordsjælland all the way through into the next round of the UEFA Cup. Queens came, they saw, they didn't conquer, they gave it all.
Well, you can't ask more from the players, but it's these goals that hurt. It's just a nothing ball through the middle. Craig Reed's caught the wrong side, and Bernberg's a class act. Once he gets there, you always think that ball's going to end up in the back of the net, and it's a sore one on Queens because they don't deserve to be losing this particular game.
Well, it is done and dusted now. Only 3 minutes of additional time. Only air on the tyres of the European adventure has been let down now. Ball into the box, Robertson. They've never given up. Scott Robertson typifying that, but off target.
Good effort though. I think again it's come slightly behind him. He's had to adjust himself, trying to hook the ball into that top corner, and he did well, but just not well enough.
Interesting to see what the guys in the studio make of it. Personally, I'm not sure they've deserved to win over the tie. Their problems came at home, and that's, you know, if you're going to lose at home, that is the problem. But they certainly gave themselves a chance with the way they played tonight, Queen of the South. As for the Danes, they will go through. There's some tempting names waiting for them. Sean O'Connor.
Sorry, Paul, we'll be looking back on the Sean O'Connor chance. You know, the one real bit of quality, because they haven't missed many chances. But Domi came off the bench, threads the ball through to his strike partner, and he's unlucky. The goalkeeper makes a great save with his legs.
Burns infield onto O'Connor. O'Connor turns away. Can he rescue at least the draw? The corner kick is awarded, and I think a draw is the least that Queens deserve tonight.
Well, it'd be nice if they could get away with that. Magnificent play again by O'Connor. Great turn in the box, but a lot of defenders there and not enough in the left in the legs to fire that one on target.
Tim Thompson was up as well. That's pinged in. Lundberg a little away from his goalkeeper. Dobie battles for it. Jonathan Richter named as man of the match just before the second goal went in. Long ball up. Habibi heads it down. Robertson. On to Dobie. Dobie was blocked. Oh, Queen of the South. Like other clubs before them, they'll be 1 and out in terms of European ties. Bernier goes in. Tosh trying to make the challenge. Bernier trying to find space. He's got renewed confidence, the Canadian. Nielsen, the substitutes. Barrels the ball wide.
Poor finish, but I suppose fresh legs just on as sub. Gets himself up here. They've got enough bodies in there. You can see Queen's tired legs just getting back, but when it came back, completely scuffed the shot.
Oh, just like Gretna, the last Scottish club to enter European competition before Queen of the South. It'll end in disappointment. Fielding's off forwards. And Morton Vekhorst, I think, is the most relieved man in this whole ground. He's side bottom of the Superliga. To go out after winning away from home would have been unthinkable. Dobie can't get on the end of it. And the last few embers of this match have glowed the last. It's all over in Denmark. Queen of the South are out on aggregate. They've lost on the night, and the lower seeded of the two sides goes through. It'll be one of 80 sides in Friday's draw, which includes AC Milan. Martin Benberg spoiled Queen of the South night. 2 goals in the last 6 minutes. After a great start by Bob Harris. They lost at home by 2 goals to 1. They've lost away from home by 2 goals to 1. The dream for Queen of the South is over.
Very disappointing for Queen of the South. Gordon Chisholm there, dejected. His side were so wonderful in the first half, but it wasn't to be in the second. Bernberg with a couple of goals in the last 6 minutes. And Pat Nevin, I guess it's just so frustrating. Everything was going in the right direction, and they came out so much better in the second.
Yeah, it was a different side. Obviously, the home side, Nordsjælland, are going to have a bit of the game, but they really did look a different side. They were lively, and I think really Queens had, you know, particularly for the first 20 minutes of the second half, they did look quite tired. They looked like second best to everything. But give them credit when it's due. Yeah. I mean, when Chisholm made the change, brought in the substitute, Dobie came on, suddenly the 4-4-2, it looked much, much better. So, you know, they were still in the game right up until the last 2 or 3 minutes. You can say no more than that. They were worth it.
Sucker punch, of course, was Bernberg goal. The first one, of course, Queens were still in it, but the second one was a sore one. But let's have a look at the first one first of all. And it started with Queen's possession.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you can actually see the 2 players here trying to go out and shut down the ball, and that's what's actually killed the space, because Bob Harris then has to stop up and allows the player down the wide side. And to be fair to, you know, Nordsjælland, it's actually a good goal. They've broken well, but at this point, you know, Queen of the South have, you know, put ever so much into the game. And when you consider, you know, all their efforts, at this stage they're still in the game, because if they go and score again, they take it to extra time. But it was just too much for them, and unfortunately, you know, they're getting hit with a sucker punch.
Great break though, 22 seconds it was from when Queens lost the ball, Pat, to when that goal was scored.
Yeah, and by this point, they've thrown absolutely everything up front now, Queens, and you know, there's a possibility this is going to happen, and it makes it 2-1, and that's seriously unfair in Queens. They certainly, I don't think they deserve to get beaten tonight over the 90 minutes, but by this point they've sent Jim Thompson up front. They're trying absolutely everything. I don't think there's any complaint about the tactics for the manager, because you have to go for it at that point. It's Europe, you might as well do as much as you possibly can. And as I keep on saying, proud of all the players, but they were exhausted at the end. But they tried everything, and so did the staff.
OK, absolutely. Well, let's hear what Gordon Chisholm has to say. He's with Jim Spence.
Yeah, Gordon's with me. Well, Gordon, so close, Gordon, but no cigar tonight. A terrific performance from your guys, but caught with a couple of sucker punches. That's European football, isn't it?
The home leg, we lost a couple of goals, but we had to come here. You know, we kept it nice and tight. We got that early goal. Everything was going perfectly, but there was going to be some stage that we had to push forward and try and get that second goal. And unfortunately, you know, they caught us on a break there and punished us back to 1-1, and then we had to really go for it. I mean, at least if we'd have scored, we got taken into extra time. So again, flung Big Jimmy up front. A wee bit of desperation, really, but you know, we had to. We couldn't go out just lying down. We had to give it everything we had. And to be honest with you, I felt the boys gave everything that they had. I thought that the effort commitment was absolutely first class.
And you were so close to getting that second goal. Big Sean O'Connor, tight angle in the box, got the shot away, the keeper got the block.
With a couple of little chances, you know, a wee bit more luck, then we get another goal, but it just wasn't to be. But like I say, they're giving everything. I don't think we've let anybody down, and a wee bit unlucky, but the damage was done in the first game.
Well, Gordon, we're joined now by by Bob Harris, the goal scorer. Bob, in you come a wee better. Off to the best possible start tonight. It was a hard game. Very proud of your performances. We saw from the fans here.
Yeah, I think the boys can be really proud of themselves tonight, you know. Came so close, but when you're pushing for that second goal, that can happen to you, you know. It's a cruel game. But I've told all my team to keep their head up. We've done ourselves proud and this club proud.
As the gaffer said there, you had to push it forward towards the end. There was always a danger of being caught with the sucker punch, and they were very quick. 2 great goals. Yeah, well, they're no mugs, you know. We have to go for it, you know. There's no point in coming here and saying, oh, we'll just take a 1-0 win. But you know, it's disappointing, you know. But to lose 2 goals right at the end, it's hard to take. Well, you take pride from the goal you scored. It was an absolute belter, wasn't it? I just had it, you know, and lucky enough in the back of the net. I'm delighted about that, but I would have rather had a win. Gordon, can it be a launching pad, do you think, for the club? First time in Europe, you've certainly not disgraced yourself. It's given the whole country a lift, I think. Well, I think it's a launching pad. I think we're going in the right direction, Jim. I think this was great. It's great to taste it. I felt we could have got through. You know, I felt that tie we were capable of winning it, and I'm disappointed. And my disappointment stems from the first game, Jim. And yeah, we'll go forward from here. It was a great effort tonight, guys. Thanks very much. Well done on behalf of everybody.
Yes, Queen of the South, lots to be proud of. A really decent performance, particularly in the first half against Nordsjælland. And I guess there, guys, I mean, what they were saying, they have got a lot to hold their head up. There's nothing to be embarrassed about after that performance and that result. Absolutely not. You know, there's been a lot of people have said, well, the Scottish Cup runners-up shouldn't be into the UEFA Cup, but Queen of the South have shown there, you know, that they're more than capable of matching, obviously, FC Nordsjælland, you know. But in terms of the disappointment from Gordon Chisholm and Robert Harris, it's pretty evident. You know, they thought they had a chance to win the game, and from the first half, it was certainly evident that they did have. Yeah, and Nordsjælland in the second half there, they did come into the game, they created a lot more chances, Pat. It really put Queens under the cosh.
Underlines how good a performance it was in the first half from Queens, because they came out, when they had a little bit of space, they then started to create chances in Nordsjælland. And you know, you would expect that in European football, and you thought the way the Queens are defending, goalkeeper does fairly well there, but defensively, you know, centre-backs, they generally defended very well as well. And, you know, they closed them down well. I mean, OK, they're getting to the byline and getting into areas there, but they are defending fairly well. You just felt if they could hold out and maybe sneak that one at the end, they would have deserved it. That would have been a great goal had it gone in. But in the end, it's a shame to actually spend much time talking about Nordsjælland. OK, they won the game, very good. They probably deserved it over the whole 180 minutes. But I have to say, tonight, my heart's with Queens. I thought they had a fantastic effort at it tonight. And it's terrible to walk away for that, having lost the tie 4-2. Yeah, it certainly is. And I guess Gordon Chisholm, you know, he made a tactical change. He brought on Scott Dobie and almost made an impact straight away. Yeah, absolutely. Stephen Dobie popped on and made a huge difference, Dougie. You know, we were talking about, you know, how Queens were sitting deep. What was actually happening was the midfield were so stretched because Sean O'Connor is isolated up front. Stephen Dobie comes on and just links things up. You can see here, tremendous little pass. Sean O'Connor, possibly, I'm not going to take anything away from the big guy, he deserves a shot and goal, but if you look particularly from this angle, Paul Burns coming into the back post, he's got an empty goal, you know, he just rolls it across the net. But you can see all the good stuff from Stephen Dobie here again, just gets it under control. Nothing in front of him, so what does he do? He turns out, keeps possession of the ball, knocks it wide, gets him started again. It changed the game, didn't it? Completely changed the game. And it's not just because Dobie's got that quality, and he's got a great touch himself, he's got great vision as well. You know, if there's nothing on, he will turn back, he will allow his midfielders and his defenders a lot of the time to get up and support him as much as they possibly can. And also, it's just the vision that I like. You know, he's got the ball there, OK, I'll wait, right, that's the right ball, I'll play it now. So applaud him, but also applaud the manager. That was the right change to make at the right time, and it almost worked for him. I guess what Jim Spence was saying there, you know, they've got to take a lot away from this. They've got to take it back to the First Division, and the team will learn from the European experience. Yeah, I mean, Queen of the South are still in a kind of state of change. You know, they were only part-time a couple of years ago. They're an established First Division club. Gordon Chisholm will be looking, along with Davy Ray, to take
the club one step forward and further, and that might get them to the SPL. It will certainly allow them to attract better players if they can give them European football. And
let's finish on a high, Pat. Bob Harris's goal, he said he hit it well. He never mentioned the deflection. There was no deflection.
Right, in fact, I've decided there was no deflection here. That just absolutely hammered into the back of the net. And, you know, the sunshine at the start, you thought, are they going to do it again? They've probably deserved at this point in time to get another goal just before half-time. However, that's a great strike. That's something we'll remember all his life. See the Queens over the last number of months, they've given us a lot of things to remember. And that's right at the top of the list of things to remember. And I'm absolutely convinced that Bob Harris, for whatever he does in the rest of his career, he can actually walk out and say, wait a minute, I scored a goal in Europe, and not only did I score a goal, I scored a cracker of a goal. And I just hope his career goes on from here.
Absolutely, and Queens to go on from there as well.
Every single chance of doing that, because I think they'll get confidence from that, no doubt.
OK, thank you very much indeed. We'll be back with Sports Scene on Saturday at 4:30 with all the reports and results from around the grounds. And then SPL Online will be back at 6 o'clock from Sunday. At times, Queens were wonderful, but not wonderful enough near Copenhagen. Thanks for your company. Bye for now. This week, prime times in the North East.